Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, there's just 80 days until Christmas 2020. And today I'm going to start a series of Mando Mondays following Star Wars. They have a promotion where every Monday on shopdisney.com they'll be releasing new merchandise to following the Mandalorian releases. So I'm going to start trying to find a time spot where we get the Mando Monday release from Shop Disney, along with some review of the episode from the previous Friday. So today marks 21 days, just 3 weeks until the Mandalorian season 2 begins. And so I wanted to start with Mandalorian news today and just kind of get everybody into that mindset and into that kind of regular pattern of looking for Mandalorian news on Mondays. So with that being said, let's take a look at a couple of things here real quick. So first of all, we've been seeing the news that came out from Europe, Denmark, Germany, where it was leaked, or officially, the most official news that we've ever gotten from Disney or Disney Plus regarding Rosario Dawson, Timothy Oliphant, and of course, oh shoot, I just lost her name. The other actress. Just a second here, I'll have it. I got thinking about things and let it skip my mind. Let's see here. 1 second. Sorry about that. You would think that I would be able to remember from all of just 2 minutes ago what. So Timothy Oliphant, Rosario Dawson, and we have. Oh, hey, Mando Productions. Hello. First time seeing you here. Hey, great to have you. Thanks for stopping in. We'll be talking about some Mandalorian Monday stuff. Captain Pennsylvania, Captain. Hey, welcome. Hey, good to see you here. Gray, wonderful. It looks like we've got some regulars here. Good to see you all. Fan Jexter, I want that Star Wars, the baby Lego. It's $80. $80. That's chump change for you, Adam. You should be able to cover $80. Come on, get it for Kid Jecture. Kid Jecture definitely needs a Mando Lego set for sure. Let's see who else. Patricia, hello. Welcome, and Dale, hello. Wonderful to see you all here today. So yeah, I wanted to kind of get into. Let's see. I was looking earlier at the Timothy Oliphant, and oh shoot, I'm just having trouble. Her name will come to me in just a minute. You guys may be able to give it to me faster. The other actress. So we had in Europe, they released Rosario Dawson, Timothy Oliphant, and the other WWE kind of oh shoot. Rumored to be in the season 2, and we finally got their names. I put her on the thumbnail here. I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about who they might be playing. Of course, it's been known for a long time that Rosario would be playing Ahsoka, and then Sasha Banks. Thanks, Adam. Whew. You know, you get the the mental block, and you just can't get over it. Yeah, Sasha Banks. So I want to talk a little bit about who they might be playing and just kind of introduce to folks who these characters are. So let me share something here with you regarding who Timothy Oliphant is rumored to be playing. And let me bring this up. Cobb Vanth. Now, I don't know how many of you may have read the Aftermath novels. The Aftermath novels come in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and it sets up some of the places that we have. So one of the primary places with the Aftermath books is Jakku, and there's a big battle at Jakku. And of course, in The Force Awakens, you see the remnants of that battle, the crashed Star Destroyers, the X-Wings, the TIE Fighters, all of that. And of course, that's what Rey is scavenging in. Well, the Aftermath book set that up. And Cobb Vanth is in all three of those books. And personally, I have enjoyed them a lot. I've listened to them on audio format twice. I think they're really good. I've listened to Aftermath Trilogy 7 times in its entirety. Love it. Yeah, Gray, you and I both. I think the Aftermath books are fantastic, and I think they're probably under appreciated by the fandom as a whole, because people are kind of stuck between this fight between the old EU and the new EU expanded universe, right? So the Aftermath trilogy is absolutely great, and in that trilogy, you see that Palpatine has set up a Plan B, right? So Palpatine is kind of starts this that becomes then the First Order, and I think that that book sets up perfectly the return of Palpatine at the end of the sequel trilogy. And a lot of people say that Palpatine wasn't properly planned out. I tend to agree with them from a basic standpoint that I don't think the sequel trilogy was properly planned out, but I do think that Palpatine was planned from the beginning. And of course they said that, but nobody wants to believe them. But if you read the Aftermath books, there's some fantastic foreshadowing in there that tell you that Palpatine does have this other strategy to come back with a brand new start. And he talks about ending the failed empire to start a brand new empire. And there's a couple of foreshadowings in that book. One of the big ones, and if you've not read them, I don't think I'm giving away too much. There's a game that's much like chess. If you think of what we know as chess, it's essentially a copy of that. And in that game, as they're playing out, at the very end, well, towards the end, a big thing happens. All of the chess pieces are knocked over except 2. There are 2 chess pieces still standing, and I think that represents really well that foreshadowing of what we get in the First Order. And one of those chess pieces, just so you know, one of those chess pieces is the Emperor, right? The Emperor character, Palpatine. So I think that was foreshadowed fantastically. And Grave, we really appreciate it. You've gone through it 7 times. I've gone through it twice myself. I do think it's fantastic, and I know that you can read or listen to the Aftermath books on public library sites here in the United States. You can check that out from your local library for free. You can get the app for free. You can get your library membership for free, all of it, and you can listen to the Aftermath trilogy at no cost. So it's definitely a fantastic book, a series of books, that trilogy. Full of Zinda, hello, yeah, the Imperator, yeah. So I don't want to give away too much of the story as a whole, but there's some great characters introduced in there, and one of the characters introduced is this Cobb Vanth. And so just to kind of introduce, it's rumored that Timothy Oliphant will be playing Cobb Vanth in the season 2. And so if you're not familiar with Cobb Vanth, you still have time. You still have time to get through these books. They're involved. I listen to them at like 1.5 times speed, sometimes 2 times speed. And then when I get to critical parts, I'll slow it down to 1 time just to make sure I don't miss anything. But like when I'm mowing the lawn or I'm out, I'll listen to these novels. They're fantastic. So, yeah, Gray, you listen on public library as well. Fantastic. That's fantastic. So, and of course, you can use Google. You can go out and read the website here about Cobb Vanth. The short of it is that he ends up with Boba Fett's armor, and and I know Josh with the Den of Nerds has talked about it as well. We think that at least in some portion of this season, that we're going to get Cobb Vanth wearing Boba Fett's armor, and that there's going to be a little bit of a surprise for people who don't really follow the expanded universe, and they're going to see Boba Fett's armor. They're going to think it's Boba Fett. Certainly, normies or just your casual Star Wars fan is not going to be familiar with Cobb Vanth, and they're not going to understand that it's not Boba Fett in Boba Fett's armor. So there'll be some reveal of that. There'll be some storytelling of that, and bringing it into more familiarity with the casual fans. Bacasta, welcome. Great to have you here. I love the Aftermath trilogy. It's like the Thrawn trilogy for new canon. Yeah, it set up much for the new EU. Hey, I want to talk about the Thrawn novels as well. I'm currently listening to Chaos Rising. Wonderful book, and it reinforces one of my theories, and I'll share that with you all in a bit. So, so Cobb Vanth. Most folks aren't going to know who he is when they see him. They have no idea. May not even be that familiar with Timothy Oliphant. To tell you the truth, I think he's somewhat known, but he's not like top of the list for a lot of people who would know who he is. And I'd say that's the same for Sasha Banks. And there was an interesting discussion this morning between Fanjecture, Adam here, and Josh, talking about the future of these actors. Will we see more A-list actors taking the jobs in these streaming series, or will we see new actors come up? I tend to agree more with Adam. I think we're going to see more of the unknowns, more of the Sasha Banks, more of the people like that who have other starts who then turn into streaming series. I think we're going to get some A-listers who have to come down off their high horse just a little bit, because those salaries are not going to be supported as much in the streaming content as they are in these blockbuster movies. And I also don't think that blockbuster movies are going to be supportable, at least from a theatrical release standpoint, for some time. Adam, I think I heard you say this morning that they were projecting as far away as 2023. Or was it 22? I think it was 2023 that some of the theaters were thinking that it would be before they got that revenue back up. And I agree. I rented a theater for some of our friends, and you're able to pick a movie. They gave us over 200 options of what we wanted to see. I think what we'll see with theaters is they'll pick these. They'll have these catalogs that you're able to go choose from, and I think they're going to be much deeper. And you'll be able to say, hey, we'd like to come in and see, for example, The Mandalorian Season 1, and they'll just put them back to back into one viewing, because each of those are about half an hour. So you could get 8 episodes in there in 4 hours, which is a bit long. But you might, I'm not sure you would get one for 4 hours, but you could certainly get half of a season, or you could get maybe just a couple of episodes that string together, and get your friends in there. The cost wasn't that prohibitive for me to rent the theater for a private viewing. It came up to about $10, $10 per person to come, which is an expense. So let's say you're going to get something that's available on HBO or Disney Plus or something like that, right? You wanted to get The Mandalorian. Well, you could subscribe for a month for everybody for less than the cost of going to that theater. But the nice thing about the theater is you're all there present together. You can get the popcorn, and by the way, that $10 per person included a popcorn and drink as well as the movie. So I could absolutely see that you might want to go just for that experience, especially for those of us who've grown up with it, and that's a big part. So, I think the theaters are going to have to change their model. They're going to have to change their revenue stream. and they're going to have to find other ways, because you just aren't going to get the kind of blockbuster, packing a theater full of people and playing a release 8 times in a day to get the kind of revenue that they need to support these blockbuster movies. It's just not going to happen. And I think with the lower budget, even with, say, The Mandalorian and these other series that have been released on streaming services, the budget per episode is quite high. Because when you string it together, it does come into that $100 to $150 million per season, and that gets right up there close to a full release for a theatrical production. Reefer Man Reviews, welcome, good to see you here. Trinity just ended his stream, wonderful. Thanks for stopping over. And I was over there on Trinity's stream a little bit earlier, and I think that this might be a good time schedule for me. Go after Josh with the Den of Nerds live at 10, Trinity at 11, and then squeeze me in there at noon during lunch. So I think this works out really well. So we want to talk a little bit about Timothy Oliphant. I wanted to also just, there's this concept of Mandalorian Mondays, and this is our Mando Mondays. And this comes from shopdisney.com, or they have put this out, and they're going to be releasing new, and you can see it here. They say, launching on 10/26, gear up for Mando Mondays, launching on 10/26. Pre-order Funko figures now. So they've already released in this Mando Mondays the Funko Pop series for The Mandalorian. And every Monday, starting 10/26, they'll be releasing new content. And there's much of it is already kind of leaked. We talked about it during the Hasbro event, their con that they had, the virtual con they had. And there are several figures in the Black Series line, as well as the Vintage line, that are supposed to be released in these Mando Mondays. And there was a problem at first with, if you watched that Hasbro con, some of the things that they released, they didn't even have prototypes for yet. They were really running behind. They haven't been able to keep up. And so some of the things that were kind of, that the elves kind of got word on, were not announced. And so we think what's going to happen is they're saving these for the Mando Mondays. And they even announced with that HasLab project, which, by the way, we're under 700 now backers needed to hit the child figure release. So let's take a look here at the HasLab and see where they are on it right now. HasLab, and see, I know that I checked earlier today, and they were under 700 needed to release. We're now under 600. So we need 595 more backers to release the child. So we have that coming up. And with this Razor Crest announcement, they said that by the time that this is released next fall, that there would be a full cast of characters in the Vintage line. So for those that aren't familiar, the Vintage line are those 3 3/4 inch, just under 4-inch figures that come with the card backing. Those are supposed to be released as part of the Mando Mondays as well. And so we hope to see within that a new IG-11. We hope to see a blurg, as well as, and one of the things that was kind of it was part of the leaks that the elves got word of, is we were supposed to get a quill on a blurg in the Vintage line. So I'm expecting that on the Mando Mondays, as they're able to get the production line up, we'll see quill with the blurg. And you'll also get like an IG-11 already released. You can get the stormtroopers that are kind of dingy, right? They've got the yellowed armor, all of that that's dirty. So we should have that. Hey, Lord Callus, good to see you here. Thanks so much. Good afternoon, Bacasta. Hey, appreciate you stopping in. Good luck in class. Hope it goes well. Good. And yeah, we should get on these Mando Mondays. We should get a regular release of toys related to the Mandalorian as well as other merchandise. So that's that's what we're looking for. We know that Shop Disney is going to have this release. So what I would like to do here on Mondays is ride with that. We'll talk about the toy releases. We'll get your thoughts on it, as well as a bit of a review of the Mandalorian episode from the previous Friday. So we look forward to that. So those are the leading things I wanted to talk about today. Just kind of start this pattern. It already looks like this is a really good time for folks. We've got great participation today, and I think this is a good time slot to fit into. And I plan to continue with that. The other thing that I wanted to mention, we were talking about Rosario Dawson is rumored. So we have confirmation Rosario is going to be in season 2. They still haven't shown us what Rosario is going to look like as Ahsoka. Of course, there's the footage we know was shot, and we're hoping to get that in a preview soon. Another trailer should be coming, and I think what we're going to see here in the rest of the world. I know that in Europe they already leaked these names, right? We saw Rosario, Timothy, and for the life of me, I got to go. And Sasha Banks, we saw their names as part of the promotion with Disney Plus. I think what they're going to try to do is a great big release here in the near future, where we're going to get to see some of that footage. We get to actually see what Rosario looks like. We'll get some confirmation of who the characters are. I think I have a very, very high confidence that Rosario is Ahsoka. Also, that Timothy Oliphant is going to be Cobb Vanth. Right? I think that's all but known. The big question is with Sasha Banks, who is she going to be playing? And I've mentioned that I have a theory about who Sasha Banks is going to play, and I'll put it in here so you guys can see as well. I just want to introduce these characters to you. I think that there's going to be these characters called the Night Owls, and I'll put this in. I think Star Wars should bring it up so you can see what a night owl is. These came in season 7 of the Clone Wars animated series, and there was a scene in, I think, episode 6. So season 7, episode 6 is some of the ones where Ahsoka was out with the sisters. That got a lot of criticism from some YouTubers, but the Night Owls were folks that traveled around with Bo-Katan. And let's see if it has a good shot of them here. No, I think here they are. So this is the scene that's most iconic with the Night Owls. So they were in this series here. So here they are. These are the Night Owls. You can see they're cloaked, hooded, and they've got the Mando helmets underneath that have this pattern. And there's part of the release here. And let's go back to the Mando Monday stuff. You can see this the pre-order, the Funko Pops. If we go look at these Funko Pops for the Mandalorian, you can see one of them is in that night owl. Let's see if I can find it here on the site for the Funko Pops. Let's see, brand. Oh, come on, where are they? Let's see if I can get this to cooperate. Here we go. Brands. Let's see if we can reduce this down to Funko. Here we go. And let's see if it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Nope, they don't show it here. Let's see. Funko. We'll do it this way. Funko Bo-Katan. There she is. So here you can see what that night owl. This is what it looks like, and you'll see that. So here you can see the owl image, right? So there's the eyes, the nose, all of that. So I think that this image here of the night owls, and where did it go? Here it is. This night owls. I think that is what we're going to see uh, with Sasha Banks. A lot of people think that Sasha is going to be Bo-Katan herself. I'm not so sure, and I know there's been a lot of criticism about the possibility of her even playing Bo-Katan because um, the racial kind of features that Bo-Katan has are different than those of Sasha. The only thing that Sasha has is, of course, a fighting presence and the colorful hair. And that's what kind of led people to think that it's going to be Bo-Katan in the first place. I'm not convinced. I've read and I've looked into a lot of the arguments pro and con, and I tend to lean towards the con. I don't think it's going to be Sasha. I don't think Sasha's going to play Bo-Katan. I think she's going to be one of these night owls. The issue there is, well, I thought that the Mandalorians couldn't be seen without their helmets. And yeah, Lord Callus, I agree. She doesn't look anything like Bo-Katan. And let's just show. Let's see if I can bring up here, since we've been doing this on Google. Let me bring up Bo-Katan, and we'll bring up Bo-Katan and Sasha Banks. I think we already have some of these images of them side by side. Let's see, images. Right, I think Katie Sackhoff is Bo-Katan. I think that makes sense. I don't think that it makes sense at all that Sasha Banks would play her. To me, it's Katie Sack. Right, this is Katie Sackhoff is Bo-Katan, right? Like, or Sabine Wren. Yeah, Sabine Wren. You're right, Sabine Wren. Sabine Wren. Yeah, there you go. So Sabine and Sasha. I just don't think so. If you look at Sabine here, and you look at Sasha there, you can see the hair color, right? Because Sabine has the hair color, but I just don't think that Sasha has that same sort of appearance that Sabine does, and I think that they're going to get a lot of criticism if they cast her as Sabine. Here we go. Here's a good one, side by side. Let's see if we can get this picture up. Thanks, Gray. Appreciate it. Oh, no, this is a video YouTube. I don't want to bring that up. So, anyhow, so that's the thought. I don't think that Sasha is going to be Sabine. You can see here her. I just don't think it resembles her enough, and I think they'll get a lot of a pushback. Hey, Trinity! Oh, thanks for stopping over. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Second Street Marvel. Great to have you here. So there's a lot of thought about Sasha Banks playing Sabine. I don't think that's the case. I don't think she's going to be Sabine. I think she's going to be one of the night owls here that are with Sabine or Bo-Katan. Right? I just don't think. I think she's going to be a night owl. And the other thing about the night owls, if you go back and watch season 7 of the Clone Wars, and you watch these episodes, I know these are not as popular, right? They come from the episodes that got a lot of critique, right? They got a lot of criticism with the sisters in it, the Martez sisters. A lot of people didn't like it because of the look of the Martez sisters. They felt it was a sideways storyline. It didn't take anywhere. It didn't develop anything. I have my thoughts on that. I disagree. I think they did have some content. And one of the things that if you missed it because some of the critiques of it, it's worth going back to watch because you'll see these night owls. And one of the characteristics is that they kind of disappear really quickly. And so you could see them come in and then just disappear. And you saw that in the Clone Wars animated series, and I think you would see it. We did see that in the commercial, in that trailer. So I think that Sasha could be a night owl. She could be fighting with um, Sabine. She could be part of that, and let's see how it plays out. This is with Bo-Katan, but they weren't with Bo-Katan, so we'll see. So the other criticism was, well, could they be night? Could she be a night owl if she doesn't have her helmet? And I just harken back to season 1 of The Mandalorian, where they were all underground with their helmets on, but what they were when they went into secrecy above ground, when they would go out one at a time or whatever, they would go out disguised without the helmet. Right? So it's not that they could never take the helmet off. It's that you couldn't know who the person under the helmet is. So, for example, you couldn't have one of the Mandalorians take his helmet off or her helmet off in front of somebody, so they say, "Oh, I know you are this Mandalorian." Um, but they could be seen like in hiding without a helmet on, because nobody would know that they were a Mandalorian. They would just think that they're an average person on the street, so they may not associate them with that. So I think we have the case here where one of the night owls could absolutely be that hooded figure that we saw in the trailer, and that could be Sasha. Reefer Man reviews. I think they could get away with it because one was animated, and they could get, but it should be somebody else. I do kind of see it. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to rule out entirely that she might be Bo-Katan or Sabine Wren. Sabine Wren is who she's rumored to be. I'm not going to rule out that she's Sabine Wren, but at the same time, I'm not sold on it either. So I think we know who Ahsoka is. I think we know who Cobb Vanth is, but I don't know that we know who Sabine is. And maybe it's Sasha. I tend to think not. So that's me. The Martez arc slowed the pace for me. It felt a little more filler. I did like seeing the Pikes. Yeah, Lord Callus, I think that's a fair criticism. I think that's an absolutely fair criticism of that the Martez sister story arc. It did slow the season down. And if anything, I think season 7 of the Clone Wars has, it's got 3 major story arcs there. And the continuity between the 3 isn't really, really well threaded. But if you, to be fair, if you go back through the previous seasons, it's the same, right? And I think the Martez story arc does it not only does it have the Pikes, which was, I agree, was kind of cool. It was good to see them, but it introduced these night owls, and they're good. And at the same time, you see what Ahsoka is trying to determine. So she left the Jedi Order. She's trying to figure out where she's going to fall in life, and is she going to not be a Jedi? Is she not going to use her Force powers? Is she going to just kind of find some indiscreet place to just kind of fold in and become part of? But she finds that she has to be involved. She has to fight for good. She's got this moral compass in her that leads her to help people. And it kind of solidifies that even though she's not part of the Jedi Order, I think the Martez storyline shows that she absolutely is Jedi at heart. And then that leads us, of course, into the Siege of Mandalore storyline, and you get to see that there as well. So, yeah, I think the Martez episodes are undervalued. They got a lot of criticism because of the look of the characters and some of the storyline behind gender swapping of characters and that kind of thing that kind of detract from the actual story itself. And if you watch the actual story itself for what it is, and you watch Ahsoka in the context of she just left the Jedi Order and she's trying to bridge from where is she going next, that Martez storyline, I think does a decent job of that. Ambassadorial Wing. Hey, the ambassador has stopped in. Good to see you all. Hope you all are doing well. Did enjoy season 7, even the slower parts. I do understand. Yeah, I understand the complaints as well, Ambassador. And I know there's lots of rumors of what is in the works in Disney Plus, that we might get more of the Bad Batch. That's been confirmed. We just don't have more news on it since it was released. So I think we will get some tie-ins, and that's what also I think ties into these night owls. I know I'm harping on this. I know that I'm a broken record, but I absolutely think Sasha Banks could be a night owl, and we get to see more of that, and people will raise their familiarity, just like with Cobb Vanth, right? People don't know who Cobb Vanth is. The people have no idea, and they're going to see Boba Fett's armor, and they're going to think, "Oh my goodness, there's Boba Fett! How did that happen?" And I think the story is going to reveal that it was actually Cobb Vanth, and they're going to introduce us to who Cobb Vanth is. The other bit of news came out regarding the season 2, who the writers were for each of the episodes, and we see that most of the episodes were written by Jon Favreau, all but 2. Right, there's 2 episodes that were not written by Jon Favreau. One was written by Dave Filoni, and the other was written by I can never. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna butcher his name. Rick. Oh, Santa. Yeah, I think the other was written by Rick. So the director, Rick F. I can't. His last name, I would just butcher. I'm terrible with it. I'm gonna have to listen to it a few more times, and I think that if I remember correctly, the 5th episode is the one that Filoni wrote, and so everybody, I think, correctly has assumed that episode 5 will be the introduction of Ahsoka. Ahsoka is his character. Ahsoka was written and developed by him. I think that Dave Filoni, being the writer of that episode, is an absolute dead giveaway that episode 5 is going to be the Ahsoka story, and that if we follow along the schedule, that puts her into, I got to look again at the calendar. I know it's November, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, November 27th. So right after Thanksgiving, we will see Ahsoka, November 27th, if that follows along, episode 5. And I think that's, my memory is correct on that. And then Rick has episode 7, I believe. So we have Filoni in 5 and Rick in 7, and that would put it right into December. So that's Reefer Man Reviews. Cobb was awesome in Aftermath. Yeah. So again, we talked about Aftermath series. Those books are fantastic, and I think that a lot of fans haven't invested in the post Disney purchase of the books. I know a lot of people who were expanded universe fans that collected the comics, the books, all of that content kind of stopped when that transitioned over, and a lot of people just haven't kept up with it. And I think that what we see, the Aftermath trilogy, and there's also a bit of controversy with the author. I know the author was got himself in a lot of trouble. He got himself fired, and it had to do with how he took to social media and kind of combated folks there. And so he's gone. But the books themselves are really good, and there are some great characters introduced in Aftermath books. They're definitely worth reading, regardless of what your opinion is on Disney and Star Wars, or regardless of what your opinion is of that author. If you dislike him, whatever the case might be, that's irrelevant. The books themselves stand alone. I think that's absolutely true. When does season 2 of Mando start? It starts October 30th. Oh, that's Santa's anniversary with Mrs. Claus. So we got married October 30th of 1986. 1986. Santa and Mrs. Claus were both teenagers at the time. Mrs. Claus graduated high school in 1986, and I had just finished my first year of college, and we got married. And I was 19, she was 18. I joined the Army, and off I went. I was in the U.S. Army as of January 1987, right after we got married. So, yeah, so October 30th, we'll see season 2 of the Mando. And if you are following along, so I've been posting in my Twitter feed every week that we have. If you started watching, we will be now into week 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes 5. If you watch this Friday, episode 6, and then episode 7 next Friday, and then episode 8 on the 24th. So you got the 9th would be episode 6. The 16th would be episode 7. The 23rd would be episode 8, which would lead you right into the 30th with episode 9, as Disney Plus is promoting it, right? So it's season 2, episode 1, which is The Mandalorian. Episode 9 would start right on the 30th. So there's that. So yeah, you have time. What else? Oh yeah, thanks, Lord Callis. Yeah, we've been married for quite a while. This will be 33, right? So 86, 34. Oh, Santa's already been married 33. This will be 34th. This will be our 34th wedding anniversary. So yeah, that's great. So what else? Oh, I know. Here, the other thing I want to talk about, and we've mentioned this before, is Santa is involved in doing remote visits with kids this year. With all that's going on in the world, you'll see that on all of my videos, my live streams now, I've got this JingleRing, and JingleRing is a new service that's come up this year. And let me, it's for virtual visits with Santa. And if you use the code that's in my description here, you can get a discount. Plus, if you do that before the 30th of October, so you've got just a little bit of time. If you do it here before the end of the month, let me share the window again. JingleRing, the virtual visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus. If you use the jingle code, the JingleRing code 40, or click the link that's in the description of this video, you will get a reservation to visit with Santa, with me, as Santa, and that will be. The cost of that is discounted if you do it ahead of time, and this is a fantastic service. I'm very excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. They've done a lot of great work here. You can pre-register now, and again, register by the 31st. You get a 20% discount. You can do that in this site. You can see here they've got some of the animated characters that they've done with some of the Disney Studio animators, and they've got characters they've come up with. They've got storylines. They've got interactive things that you can do. And there's a little preview of what that might look like to visit with your family. You'll get to see Santa on the screen there. And as I mentioned, you've got all kinds of activities. We do have Santas of different ethnicities. So we've got some fantastic Santas of color. We've got Santas in other countries that speak other languages. So, French or German, Spanish, whatever your primary language is. We don't have all of the languages covered. We don't have Santas for every one, but we do have different Santas. But Patricia, thank you so much for sharing the link. That does a lot to helping me this year, as we'll be doing these online. So again, if you want to get me as your Santa, then JingleRing code 40. And for those that are looking for people of color, people who speak their different languages, their primary, you can do that as well. There are different Santas available who have those skills. Yeah, share that. That'll be exciting. It'll be a lot of fun, and you get a recording of your visit, you get a photo that's taken of your family with Santa, and you get an activity book that you can download. It's like 40 pages of activities you can do with your kids. So if you've got cousins, nieces, nephews, children, grandchildren, whatever the case might be, if you use the link or Jingle Ring code 40, you'll get a visit with me for Christmas. Oh, that'll be fantastic. So I appreciate it. That's it for today, folks. That's all I've got. I want to start this Mando Mondays. We'll be reviewing the toys that are released, the merchandise released with the Mandalorian, as well as what's in the previous week's episode. So we'll start that. So next week we'll be here again for Mando Mondays as we lead up to season 2. And what I would like to do, so today I talked about the release of Rosario and Timothy Oliphant and Sasha Banks, and the characters they may be. Next week we'll take a look at some of the season 1 stuff, just to kind of refresh everybody's memory, and then that'll get us leading right up to where we're headed off with season 2, and we'll do a complete season review the week before we go right into the Mando. So Monday of the 30th, we'll touch base on that. Now I gotta caution you just a little bit, because Santa's anniversary is the 30th as well. Santa and Mrs. Claus are going to take a vacation together, so I may not be able to be online that Monday. But that is the first day of Mando Mondays with ShopDisney.com. So we want to do that. You guys, thanks for being here. I would, again, recommend, if you get a chance, listen to the Aftermath series. You can do it for free. And it will prepare you to know who Cobb Vanth is. It gets you invested in that character and know who he is, understand what he's about. And I'm sure you would enjoy his character as well. Thank you again. You guys have a great day, wonderful afternoon, and until we see you next time, Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye-bye now.